Shout out to BWB, man. BWB. Damn Wagon Bus. Shout out to BWB, man. You know what I'm saying? Big Wagon Bus, man. Shout out to Big Wagon Bus. Thank y'all for coming. BWB, baby. Shout out to TOP Sports Club, baby.
Buff Nation, what up? BWB, my bandwagon Buffs. What it is, what it does, and what it's gonna be. It's your man's Harry Billion. Family, welcome to the Liberian Perspective. I would appreciate it if you smash that subscribe button to help this channel grow. Make sure to give me the thumbs up and don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you can get the videos as soon as I upload them to YouTube. If you look right here in this corner, you can get your BWB merch where you can rep the most educated, well-informed, and least delusional fan base there is in all of college football. BWB, bandwagon bus. But family, I gotta go ahead and get into this video right now. So that's all the business I got. You know what time it is. Let's work. All right, we got the new look Buffs, but we got the new look TLP. I'm trying out a new look, a new format. It's gonna be more of a podcast format, guys. I wanna cover more topics and cover more base. I'm gonna try this new format. Hopefully it works out for the channel. I want your opinion. Please go to the comments. Let me know how you feel about this new format. On this video, I'm talking about these topics that you're staring at on your screen, guys. Cormani in Boulder. What does all of that mean? We're gonna talk about that. We're talking about Coach Prime's health. I know people have concerns about Coach Prime's health, what that means to the team. And is Coach Prime a laughing stock in college football? We got to cover that topic as well. Finally, on this video, we're talking about the coaches in the universities that are targeting Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes. Coaches cannot wait to play us. What are the implications of all of that? So let's go ahead and get right into it. The first topic we're talking about, Cormani in Boulder. So Cormani is finally in Boulder. By now, you've seen at least a handful of videos about Cormani being in Boulder. He is there and he's supposed to be training. Now, unless there is a creator that's coming from the inside, where it's one of the Coach Prime's channels, whether it's Reach the People Media or Well Off Media, nobody has actually said anything. But there seemed to be some type of distance from CU Buffs. We don't know why. They're not saying anything. But we do know this is a school. There are regulations. This is not a professional team. You have to enroll into the university. You have to clear certain things. You have to have certain things on that transcript. There's a lot that goes into the process when it comes to actually enrolling and being accepted at the university and then being able to join the team to practice. They're keeping us in the dark a little bit. We don't know what's going on. My approach is not to cast any type of fear in the constituents. I'm not doing this for you to be fearful or to think that something's going on, something nefarious is going on, and you should be thinking, oh my gosh, he may not be accepted into the university or something is going on. We don't know. They haven't really told us. Keeping us in the dark is creating more questions than there are answers. They're not giving us any answers. Everybody else registered and were accepted. We see them on that field practicing. Then we know that they are good because you are not allowed to practice under certain circumstances. If the school has accepted you, if you have cleared all of your transfer information, if you have the grades, then you are cleared to go. I'm sure there's a few more things that's in there that I'm missing currently, but if you have all of the check marks, then there shouldn't be any question left in our heads because then we will see you with the university. We will see you at the university practicing or their practice facilities. You make a video and you're not on campus. How would you make a video not on campus with CU behind you, the logo behind you, the Buffalo behind you, like everybody's doing? When Zico was here, he made his videos on campus. So if you're going to put out a video letting everybody know that I'm in Boulder, then it should be at the university. Tell me if I'm crazy or not, but it seems like the whole Cormani situation has always been this mysterious thing. Yeah, the whole recruiting situation was a little bit odd the way that it went through, but they figured it out and they did it in an epic way. So that worked out. Now the whole thing about just being on campus, being in Colorado, in Boulder, it feels a little weird. I don't want to be on Cormani's bad side. I don't want to be the guy casting doubts or nothing like that. But we are talking heads. You got to give us something to talk about. We want to promote you. We are ready to roll out the red carpet for you, Cormani. We are ready to send you into the stratosphere. As far as you being a part of this team, welcome to the herd. You're there. We want to see you with the other players. We know that's going to happen real soon. You guys are creating more questions for people who are out there. We are more level-headed. Not everybody is level-headed when it comes to these things. We are patient. We can wait. We don't have to speculate. We don't have to do all of these weird things or say all of these weird things, and we're for the team. We want to promote the team, and anytime something's happening with the team, we want to be able to promote the team. But I feel like when the constituents have questions and we don't have the answers, we are already outsiders. We don't have no inside tips. My channel doesn't have anybody on the inside yet to feed us information. It would be nice to have somebody from the inside say, hey guys, this is what's going on. Maybe they need to create some type of YouTube liaison and then, choose a handful of creators who they know are supporters of the team, who are looking out for the team's best interest, that they can feed us information. Maybe we pay some type of fee for that. That could be a revenue stream. I don't know. I'm just tossing some things out there. You guys create some type of social media liaison to where we can tap in for information. If we had somewhere to go for information where it was some type of club that we joined, where the team created some type of hub where we can ask questions. Maybe you guys need to create some type of community page for creators that are supporting the university. I mean, there's a lot of vultures out there, people who don't really care about the well-being of the team. They're just doing it for clicks and views and all of that. Anytime something comes out, it's always bad news. Coach Prime is about to die. He's losing a foot. The school is out of shambles. Everything is bad. And I mean, I understand those type of creators, but for those of us who are looking out for the best interest, we're out here rooting for the team. Some information for us to be able to disseminate to our communities will be very helpful. I don't know how that works. I know, this is a university and there's a lot of legalities that goes into all of that, and giving out information may drop into the wrong hands. I don't know how that works, but those are some ideas. Maybe the university need to come up and say something. There have been some questions about his stature. When you look into the comments, some people say he looks small. He needs to get to the gym quickly and bulk up. I wanted to speak on that also. He's a tall kid. He's lengthy. A cornerback's job is different from people who are closer to the play. For the most part, you're going to be chasing down wide receivers or running backs or whoever has that ball and have gotten into the secondary. Somebody who has left that line, that made a juke, that did something to pass that line. Once they pass that line, now it's Cormani, McClain, Travis Hunter, Shiloh's, any of those deep backs. Now it's their job. If you catch them at the right time, if you understand how to come off the stiff arm, how to either swap down the stiff arm or punch down the stiff arm, for the most part, you should be tackling somewhere midsection, below the waist, and that makes your job a little easier than other people that have to wrap up. The guys that are closer to that line, you got to wrap up. The secondary, the DBs do have to wrap up sometimes, but they're not always wrapping up. Usually they're catching the guy in midair and then hitting them at a lower part of their body, which is going to catch them off and put them in the air or bring them down for the most part. So Cormani doesn't have to be the biggest person or the bulkiest person to do that because it's a skill position. So you're knocking them off the run. You're knocking them while they're already in midair or something like that. So for all of those people who are saying, oh, he needs to be bigger, he's too small, I want you to think about Travis Hunter and I want you to think about Coach Prime. Coach Prime was tall. Your cornerbacks are not the biggest dudes on the field. So if you are a DB, you have to understand where to hit the person and how to hit the person. Very important. You have to understand where your help is coming from, how and where to hit the guy to get your help to help you out. If the person is running with the ball on the outside of their body, you want to hit them on that side. Number one, is going to force them back onto the inside, or it's going to slow their momentum down, and then your help is going to arrive. There's only one ball that everybody's looking at. The audience, the people that are watching, are all focused on that ball. All 11 players are focused on that ball on both sides. So if the ball is in somebody's hand, you best believe every defensive player are after that ball. So your help is coming. You're not always alone. Even if you are alone, you have some really fast players that are helping you out. So your IQ as a DB has to be very high for you to understand where the ball is, if it's on this side or if it's on this side and the person with the ball is running. You have to understand where the ball is and where to hit them in order to either draw their momentum momentum back into your help and not away from your help. For the most part, you're either going to hit them and they're going to stumble, and then they're probably going to stumble into the help, or you're going to bounce them off. I'm not trying to make excuses for Cormani McClain. I'm just explaining the process because for some reason people think that he's too small, he can't play. No. Because the kids that he played against that made him a 5-star are the same kids that are being recruited to these other programs. I don't know if we don't connect the dots for some reason, but that's how sports is. Every class that's ranked, the person that we're looking at is not the only person that's ranked in that class. He's ranked as a cornerback, 5-star cornerback. That means he played against some wide receivers, quarterbacks in his class. So there are quarterbacks and wide receivers that he's playing against. So think about the Miami, think about Florida. I want you guys to think about the Florida football. We got to clear this up, guys. We got to really clear this up for some people to really get it in their head to understand what's going on here. Coach Prime loves his Florida boys. Cormani McClain plays Florida football, and he's ranked 5-star in Florida with all of those great football players that come out of Florida football. That means that he was going against some of the wide receivers that the Alabamas, the Georgias, and all these other schools are recruiting. The 5-star wide receivers, the 5-star tight ends, all of these people Cormani McClain played against. He's 2023. He played against these players. Other 4 5-stars are going to these other programs too. If he was able to handle himself in his class, not that he's not going to be playing against some older players and some bigger players, but he's going to be fine. That's what translates. According to Chris at Alpine Garage Sports, Cormani's training with this guy named Connor Custodio. So, and his information is right there on your screen. So Cormani McClain has been training all of this time while he was in Florida. So most of his training videos, he's going to be putting on his new YouTube channel, which I'm going to encourage you guys to go and let's go ahead and blow up his channel because these things are going to be helpful to his family. NIL deals. Once his channel goes big and he starts doing a lot of things on his channel, these companies are going to start contacting him and trying to give him deals. These kids don't really have to do much. Sometimes the companies just want you to either wear their shirt or they want you to drink their drinks. They want you to maybe wear some sunglasses like Travis Hunter does. Some of these NIL deals can be very lucrative, so we're going to go ahead and blow up his channel. But again, we don't want to have questions in our heads, but we got to move on to the next thing, which is Coach Prime's health. So if we're talking about all of these Cormani McClains and we're talking about all of these things, how Coach Prime is going to carry CU into the future. CU has been losing for so long, but all of a sudden his health comes into question. What is going on with Coach Prime's health? I understand how the YouTube algorithm works because I studied it for so long. A lot of people are in this to feed their family. So I can't necessarily be mad at somebody creating headlines in order for them to get you guys to click on the videos. Sometimes it's very hard to get you guys to click on the videos. Sometimes the video may have good information, but you guys are not going to click on it because the title doesn't read like you like it or the thumbnail doesn't read like you like it and you're just not going to click. But there's sometimes you just say, you know what, to heck with it, let me just go ahead and click on it and you enjoy the video. It's a dance that we have to do as creators to try to entice you to click on these videos. So I do understand it to a certain extent, but I don't know that you have to be trash media. I don't know that you have to do tabloid stuff. If you're honest and you have an audience that you're connecting with, you don't necessarily have to do tabloid stuff to get people to watch your videos. But some of these things are really getting out of hand when it comes to like how people are using the information that they're getting to get their audience to watch the videos. Coach Prime has a blood clot. He's about to die. CU ain't going nowhere because Coach Prime, his health is going to be done before the year's even started. I'm reading some stuff and I'm like, what the heck? Like, people are not being responsible with stuff like this. And some people are just straight trash videos. I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. Not everybody's a fan, obviously, and everybody got their own agenda, but some of the titles out there are just crazy. This is one of the points that I was trying to make in the Dan Patrick video. Mr. Dan Patrick was like, why ain't anybody asking if this guy can play? This is another thing. When you put out the information, people are going to use this information however they want to use it. People are really salacious out here. It's all about clicks and views. Some people are going to use it in a malicious way, and some people, like my channel, we're going to be responsible with our audience because we got real people that really care about this guy, and we got people that really care about the school that want solid, good information. But we're getting killed out here. You see what I'm saying? Like, I go on some of these salacious channels, and they're getting like 50, 60,000 views on the same information that I was responsible with. I'm only getting like 1,000 or less views on this information. Some of my videos, 600 views. You gotta weigh it. I mean, sometimes your morals gotta come in there and let you know, like, okay, are you satisfied with the 600 views? Because this guy's killing you. How the heck did he get 70,000 views on the same video and the same information that you're sharing? Do people like this guy more? Who knows? You gotta play the game to win. Some people are really playing this game to win and they don't really care what you think. Coach Prime had blood clots that were, like he said, on his thigh. Some people said, oh, it was on his groin. He's about to lose his genitals, and he cleared it up. He had blood clots on his thigh and his some other parts of his leg. They had to release the blood clot so that blood can start to flow in his legs again normally. But it was more cautionary stuff that he put out to let people know that if you do this, then this may not happen. If you do that, that may not happen. These are the options. What would you like to do? That's what it was more for. Not necessarily to say he's about to lose a leg and how's he going to lose a leg. If he loses a leg, it's okay with Coach Prime because he put out a video saying that he was ready to say, if I lose a leg, it doesn't mean that I can't coach anymore. It doesn't mean the season is over because I lose a leg. They have prosthetics. They have other means of somebody who got amputated to move around for mobility. A coach needs mobility to be able to coach his guys and to motivate his guys. But losing a leg did not mean that the season was over or Coach Prime is not even going to coach anymore. And some people are blowing it out of proportion and striking fear in the constituents. A lot of y'all are going to go click on those videos that have the salacious titles. If I was to build my title more responsibly, you would not click on my video. You will go click on the video that has the salacious title because you're just curious, because we're curious people. Coach Prime is going to be okay. His health is all right. If it comes to amputation, they're going to amputate and he's going to get a prosthetic. This is not coming from me for that person that's going to say, oh, Coach Prime's not getting no prosthetic. Coach Prime has already put out a video saying, is it going to be the 2024 or the 2025 model? This ain't coming from me. He's going to be all right. There are contingency plans that he has in place. If he cannot walk the way that he wants to walk, it's either going to be a prosthetic or some other technology that will have him still coaching. There shouldn't be any immediate rush to judgment. He is going to coach this season, next season, the season after that, and he's going to continue to coach. His health is not in jeopardy to stop him from coaching. We got to make that clear so people can stop striking fear into people so that the constituents and the people that watch that are following the team don't think that there's some reason why Coach Prime may not be coaching in the near future. Coach Prime says he is going to be okay. They are doing precautionary procedures to make sure that blood continues to flow in his leg. So that's what that health situation is. Until further notice, we're going to leave the health information right there and just continue to monitor it as he gives us information, as much information as he is willing to share. Okay, so this segment is brought to you by App, Authentic Profitable Practice. If you have a therapy company or you're looking to build your therapy company and you need guidance, you need somebody to help you, somebody who's been in the game for a very long time, coaching and helping other therapists build their therapy company, or they just need a business coach on how to start their own business, you need to contact the guys over there at App, Authentic Profitable Practice, so that they can help you if you already have it established or to help you to establish your own therapy practice. Go ahead, look at the information on the screen and contact App right now so that you can get your business off the ground, or you can get your business in a more healthy position so that you can win with your therapy company. Authentic Profitable Practice. So now we're asking the question, is Coach Prime a laughing stock in college football? I don't understand. Let's go ahead and go to this clip right quick and then we'll come back and talk about it.
Do you want to get back to Colorado for an official?
Definitely not. Yeah, I heard about that one.
This clip has me feeling some kind of way because I know that there is a feeling out there that Coach Prime is a laughingstock, that Colorado University is some joke or something amongst some people. Certain people think this is a laughing matter. Certain detractors that I talk about, no matter how much stat you give them, it's always clown emojis, laughing emojis. They don't care. They just throw it out there. Ha 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 ha. You're going to win. I don't know why. This is a laughing stock of a program. We can remind them of Coach Prime's accomplishments at Jackson State, which is FCS, football championship championship subdivision, that's Division I football, we can remind them that Coach Prime did what he did here at Colorado. He did the same thing over there. He came in, got rid of a lot of kids who did not fit the style of football that he wanted to play. He came in, got rid of some kids, brought some kids in who would buy into the program, into the mentality, and he was able to win and have 3 stellar seasons at Jackson State. It worked very well at Jackson State. So I don't understand how that translates to laughter. So Tawaski Abrams or TJ Abrams making a statement, and then you got people in the background laughing. He's cracking a smile. Either you don't understand business, you're very naive. That's one thing, all right? You're a young man. You're putting yourself in a bad position. It's not a good look. If you don't like someone in business, it's usually best that whatever you have to say in public is usually best that you keep it cordial or you keep it professional. Just say, no, I'm not going back to Colorado. No, I decided not to go back to Colorado. But to say in a video where you have people laughing in the background as if Coach Prime is some type of clown or clown show over here, where I know a lot of people are probably going to agree with you that it's a clown show because of whatever dispositions they have, because of the social media factor or all of the stuff that they hear other people saying. Whatever that case is, I believe that Coach Prime deserves more respect as a winner in the NFL, as a winner in college, as a winner in high school. Coach Prime deserves more respect than you young men are giving him. And you never know when you're going to need Coach Prime because that transfer portal is a beast. You know that we eat people's lunch in the transfer portal. You're sending a bad message to college football that if you don't like someone, you're going to be disrespecting them. It doesn't look good. I don't want to overreact on this. You're a young man. You have the right to go wherever you want to go. Colorado fans, Buff fans are not the type of fans that's going to be crapping on you. We don't do that. We're way too classy. We're too enamored with our guys, and we celebrate them way too hard to worry about you or anybody else. So we don't know why Coach Prime's name came up in that conversation. We don't understand. It's weird for somebody to have that kind of response knowing that you haven't even played one down in college. You're being recruited. If anything, what you want to do is just stay neutral. Have a straight face. If people were laughing in the video, you're like, nah, we're not putting that out. Like, you can't use that. Be serious about your business. Know how to conduct your business because football starts counting in high school, then it goes to college, and then it goes to the NFL. He was one of the biggest faces in the NFL, and he still has pull in the NFL where you are headed to or where you would like to be eventually. So it's not a good look for you to burn that bridge. It's not a good look for you to clown him and have people laughing at him. And you might even go to one of the teams that respect him. And somebody might remember that tape and they will have you in an interview. It might be Coach Prime that they will call and be like, yo, how do you feel about this kid? I'm just talking about real life. I'm not trying to sensationalize the situation or exacerbate the situation. I'm talking for other kids that may be thinking the same thing. It's important that we understand the culture of football. It's also important that we understand business because you're coming from a respected and respectable family. So have respect out there. That's how I look at it. If you don't want to have respect for yourself, have respect for other people, that feeling is going to be reciprocated when you go along in life because your situation may be right now, but you keep in mind that life works with people and eventually you're going to run into Coach Prime. Eventually you're going to run into a situation where you're going to have to address Coach Prime or somebody that respects Coach Prime, that is an ally of Coach Prime in the business of football, college and professional. He has more respect than a lot of the coaches that are in those cars that they're riding in, that are in those circles that you're going to be going in. Coach Prime has more respect in those corners than a lot of these coaches have. So if you're not careful, for those who are going to come after this kid, you think that you can just clown Coach Prime and you just get away with it and you're going to have a quick laugh, but that quick laugh can cost you a lot later on down the road. Be careful, kids. Be very careful. The type of energy that you put out. If you think that Coach Prime and the CU Buffs are clowns, keep it to yourself. Laugh with your friends in your dorm or on your high school campuses. Laugh at him. Then don't put it on camera for the whole world to see because what you're not accounting for are the alliances, the people who respect the guy. And then when he starts to win and you're not getting any playing time, but you happen to be a dog, you go to a Georgia or an Alabama where they're stacked on every position. So you are a dog sitting on the bench. You can't play. And Coach Prime is looking for dogs. I'm sure Coach Prime is not petty. He ain't going to hold no grudges. He'll probably still bring you in. But now you're in a position where you're going to be uncomfortable. Even if he's the bigger man and he wants to still bring you in, now you're putting yourself in a bad position, because now, even though he may not think about it, you're going to be thinking about it. You're going to be mentally challenged every single time. You got to remember that video that you did where you was laughing at Coach Prime and thinking that he was a clown. Now you're going to be thinking about that. And parents, I urge you to please be careful. Make sure that you stay in these kids' lives. Make sure that you're monitoring their YouTube channels. Make sure that when they get an interview, make sure that they look at the video. How does it represent themselves? How does it represent their family before they put these videos out? Because the person asking the question, he shouldn't be laughing. Why is the person that's asking the question laughing? Was it a setup question? Do you know that you just set this kid up? Did you know that? Your quick viral video now put this kid in a bad position. If you are a professional or a grown-up, you should be aware of this and you should be able to correct this, because now you just put him in a bad position. In Florida, Coach Prime is known to be recruiting a lot of Florida guys. Coach Prime has a Florida connection. He has coaches from high schools that are in Florida. If you try to put another kid on your show, or if you try to maneuver another kid, they're going to be like, I don't know about that, bruh. You're making me look bad out there. You asked the question, it's a setup question, and now here we go. Bada boom, bada bang. Bad look for the kid, and it's a bad look for you. Y'all may have had that moment. Y'all went viral, and now you're going to have to deal with that. Let's hope it doesn't have an adverse effect on this kid's career. If you don't care about the people that you're interviewing, if you only care about the views that you're going to get on your video, you only care about yourself, and you don't care about the lives and what's going to happen with these people after they leave your show, then you're in it for the wrong reason, and you're not going to get that far. People are going to do you like The Rock. They're going to smell what you're cooking, and usually you get one chance to taste bad food and you're not going to eat that food no more. Do it the right way. Just set yourself up. Be patient. Coach Prime is not a laughing stock, and I really hope that a lot of these recruits, a lot of these kids that are watching these videos, no matter what school you're at, no matter where you're at, where you're from, if you are a junior, you're balling out in high school, if you are a freshman balling out in high school right now, if you are one of these young cats that's coming up, if you are a parent, make sure you talk to your kids to properly conduct themselves when it comes to the media, because this thing will come back and bite you. The sound bites you put out will come back and bite you. You have to be very careful how you handle yourself. This is a business. There are alliances. There are people that are connected to other people. And if you don't handle your business correctly, it'll come back and it will mess up your bag. And that's what you don't ever want to do, is to mess up your bag because of a bad interview that you gave years ago. You're not even out of high school yet. You give a bad interview, and that bad interview costs you a bag down the road, because all Coach Prime got to be like, I don't know that kid. I don't know what you're talking about. And that's it for you. Coach Prime is not a vindictive person. He's not going to hold nobody's bag back. But if he don't know you, he don't know you. But now you just messed up a bag. So be careful with that. Coach Prime is a man of ethics, a man of values. All right, now we're going to move into our final segment. That segment was brought to you by App Authentic Profitable Practice. If you have a therapy business that you want to start, if you are in the conceptual phases, you need somebody to talk to, what do you need to do, the steps that you need to take to get you started, or you have a therapy business that is dormant, that is not really healthy, it's not making the type of money that you got into, and you're starting to lose faith, you're trying to have doubt that it's not going to work out. Before you quit, before you let that go, please make sure that you contact the people over at App Authentic Profitable Practice, okay? You have to make sure that you have all the T's crossed, all of the I's dotted before you get started or before you give up. Make sure you give them a call, because your practice is going to earn you your leisure back, so you can spend more time with your family and your friends, so that you can have less stress in what you are doing in life, and to earn enough income so that you can lead the life that you want to lead. Contact Authentic Profitable Practice so that they can get you on the right road to success. Guys, here's our final topic. We are talking about the targeting of Coach Prime and the CU Buffs. Finally, we have Kirk Herbstreit says that there are Pac-12 coaches that are anxious to face Colorado in 2023. Let's read a little bit about this and then I'll give you my perspective. He's also generated plenty of excitement around the programming, and ESPN analyst Kirk Herbstreit said Colorado is becoming a circled matchup for other Pac-12 teams as a result. Without naming names, I do know that there are a lot of Pac-12 coaches that are anxious to play Colorado. Herbstreit told Pat McAfee on the Pat McAfee show, I think there are a lot of people that are excited. That's what makes it so exciting, is there are a lot of people before you didn't even know Colorado was playing, and now every week you're going to be like, who is Colorado playing this week? I'm very, very intrigued to see what happens with him, not just this year, but in the future. Early on in this process, I made a video letting you guys know that there was going to be a target on us. That's for sure. I proclaimed that a long time ago. There was only a couple of ways that this was going to go. If everybody is talking about you, you become the guy that's hated. You become the hated team because there's so much media about you. Everybody's making videos about you. Everybody's talking about you. I believe that's the reason why certain players do not want to be on all of the videos. Every time that camera comes on, you probably have certain players that are like, yo, bruh, don't put me on camera. Sometimes you see these videos and you don't see all of the players, or you don't see certain guys being put on camera. I believe it has a factor to do with being overexposed, because the whole idea of the celebrity, why people admire certain people, it has a lot to do with mystique, a group of friends that you are amongst, right? That you frequent. The person that does not talk the most is sometimes the person that has the most respect. It's just a human trait that we all have. We always look at people who are not chatterboxes, people who have this little mystique about them. You're like, I can't read this person. I can't figure this person out. And sometimes when we can't figure people out, we're going to respect them more, and we kind of reserve certain ideas about them. The chatterbox is the person that's always going to be known as the clown. When you have votings for the class clown is going to be the person that talks the most. It's going to be the most outspoken person, the person that's always out there, putting themselves out there. They don't care about vulnerability. They can be vulnerable in front of people. They can put all of their information out there for you to judge. When there's nothing left for the imagination, they make up their own minds how they're going to treat you, and they're going to cast certain judgments about you and your character. Those are some of the human traits that are happening or that are taking place right now, where you're going to get the clown emojis, where you're going to get the laughter emojis, because Coach Brown puts it all out there on tape. The only difference in this case is that he's very serious. So it's a little bit of a double-edged sword. It's a little bit of a coinkyding, a conundrum, if you may. You got somebody who's very serious. You got somebody who's very disciplined, somebody who has very high standards and holds everybody around them with the highest accountability and want to make sure that they put their best foot forward all the time. And then on the other hand, that person is the most outspoken person. It's like we have this weird thing going on, this conundrum going on. A person like Coach Prime, if they were quiet, you would be scared. You would be afraid of a quiet Coach Prime because of the standards that he lives by. He lives by such high standards that scares people. Imagine if he was quiet, because you won't be able to figure him out. You won't be able to calculate what's going on. Thank God that for some of those kids, he has a jovial personality. He's able to just live in a place where vulnerability is not an issue for him, and he's able to just put it all out there. So I think the fact that he's able to be vulnerable in front of people and put everything out there on tape, that causes him to be targeted. He has a big personality, and he puts everything out there for you to judge for yourself. With that, it's going to come many things. People are going to create their own narratives. Even though you're creating your own narrative and you're putting it out there, people are going to decide what type of narrative they're going to create from that narrative that you're putting out there. It is causing a lot of issues for a lot of people. They don't know what to make of this information. You have a very serious person in Coach Prime, somebody who's very serious about what they're doing in their lives, and they're very calculated in what they do. And then on the other hand, they're overexposed. That's why the celebrity was such a coveted thing back in the day. The less we knew, the more our curiosity ran rampant. We were clamoring for anything. All of this media attention is creating a target. Now, everybody wants to play. My guy, Kevin Boulder, on his podcast, Locked on Buffs podcast, you should check him out. He made a pretty good point. He said that many teams don't want to be the team that loses against Coach Prime, because everything is going to be blown up no matter how you put it. If your team is the team that loses against Coach Prime, people People are going to be laughing at you, and you're going to be in the media. Oh, you let the 1-11 team beat you. You guys are whack. TCU is practicing extra hard to make sure that they are not the runner-up national champs that got beat by the laughing stock of college football. I guarantee you that's going to be a bad look on TCU. I'm sure that alumni, people who are tied to TCU football, have probably talked to that coach and let him know, like, please do not let Colorado beat us. Please do not let Dion and his mess of a program over there come and show you up. I'm sure they're having conversations. So these coaches are out there. Nobody wants to be the one that gets beat by Coach Prime and his media darlings. Who wants to be the one to be shown up by these media darlings, by the laughing stock? What is going to be the narrative when they start to put that out there? That you got beat. If you lose that game to Coach Prime, the first game, it's over for you, because the TCU game is going to break the internet. Everybody's going to be watching that game. All creators, all content creators are probably not even going to be watching their own teams. They're going to be watching the Colorado game, the 1-11 team. Nobody wants to get beat by the 1-11 team, and nobody wants to get beat by these media darlings, by these jokes. Everybody thinks it's a joke over here. That's why I sit here and I laugh, and I'm so comfortable. The way that I see it, what Coach Prime has put into place that worked at Jackson State, and he's doing that here, but now he has better facilities, he has better equipment, he has coaches. I'm sitting back here and I'm waiting for some people to be ashamed. I am waiting for some people to have some eggs on their faces to understand that this is not a joke. Coach Prime is not nobody to play with. They don't see it. They don't understand it. We do. You don't want to be on the side of betting against a natural-born leader and a natural-born winner. If we smack TCU, people are going to respect us. Coach Prime is not looking to just beat these teams. Coach Prime is looking to dominate these teams. He's looking to beat the skits off of these teams. If you don't believe me, go and watch his documentary on Prime for Jackson State. If you don't think Coach Prime is here to dominate, go watch that documentary. You'll understand what I'm talking about. The thing that he created over there, he's creating over here. And it worked over there. So there's no reason to think that it's not going to work over here, regardless of how you think or what you think. I want to hear from you in the comments what you think about all of the segments that I had, guys. I want to thank our sponsor, App, Authentic Profitable Practice. Thank you, App, for sponsoring this episode. I'm going to leave it right there. You know who I am. I'm Harry B. And that right there was the Liberian Perspective. That's TLP Sports Club. Brah.